Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right. Hearing some very, very, very interesting rumors regarding the Iraqi Dinar. I'm not sure how much credence I should give to what I'm hearing. It's all speculative and rumor. But this is a lot of chitter chatter going on amongst those who deal in currencies. Iraq has been making a very strong power move in the gold arena. The speculators are saying that it has something to do with a move that Iraq is about to make that includes the gold reserves that they have been increasing. We'll start talking about that here in just a moment. Before we get started, though, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you are not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. I'm starting to notice that other YouTubers are putting out videos talking about how slowly but surely their subscribers are being removed by YouTube. Now, what we're also noticing is a lot of those channels tend to lean towards their right politically. So all we ask is those individuals who support and like what we do to just pay attention, make sure that you are subscribed, make sure that the notification button has been clicked, and to make sure that YouTube has not removed you. And that's happened quite a bit. Also, if you're thinking about buying gold and silver, check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. Another 7 of you have made a pretty big move in protecting your retirement accounts. Okay, as far as politics are concerned, look, there's still some issues going on between Sauder and the coordination framework. They are going back and forth. Sauder has been openly and publicly making threats. Despite the fact that he has resigned out of politics, as well as members of the Sauder's bloc, that does not mean this thing is over with by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of members within Sauder's group have been going around talking to other leaders in other countries close by. What they're talking about, God only knows. Sauder himself is getting ready to make a trip to Saudi Arabia. So is he planning something? I don't know. But he seems pretty determined to get rid of the Iranian-backed politicians. He turned over the government to them with the thought that they won't be able to form a government at all. And so far, they have not been able to make that happen. So we'll see. Again, it sounds a lot like Civil War, but I told you guys before, I heard Nader's video in which he said, look, that's not going to happen. He felt like it would be really hard for that to happen. And I agree with him. But that does not mean it's not possible. And the more we start heading down this path, the more possible it is becoming. You guys got to remember that in October 2019, the Iraqi people rose up against the government that was there because they were all pretty much Iranian-backed politicians, and that's not what they wanted. Now what you have, get ready to try to take control and form the new government, is the very same Iranian-backed politicians. So it's nothing new. We've been hearing about this, but I've been paying attention to what Sauder's doing. And there is a lot of curious moves that he is making. We're going to see, that's for sure. Now, the rumors that I heard about the Iraqi dinar are pretty unique. And the rumor is Iraq is thinking about going to the gold standard, which would be huge. But one of the things they want to do is they have to find a way to start lowering the number of dinars that are in circulation. So the good news is that they're not going to replace the dinars, which is the biggest fear. But what they're looking to do is reduce the amount in circulation. I have not heard how that's going to happen. Again, what I'm telling you right now is only a bunch of talk between people who deal with currencies. It's just rumors. That's all it is. I don't want you to jump up and down and think that this is factual, because we have no way of knowing. And the people I'm getting the information from, as credible as they are, it always makes me reluctant when there's nothing that I can use to validate what is being said. So they have had a major increase in their gold reserves. That's a major, major step. The Central Bank of Iraq, I believe, controls more than 50% of the physical Iraqi dinar. Now, I find that hard to believe because it was my understanding that less than 5% of it was in Iraq. The rest was all over the place. This is the thing that sucks about all this is where do you get your information from? Who is credible and who's not? It would make sense that the Central Bank of Iraq would hold the bulk of it, but again, we've been hearing for years now that Iraq does not have that much Iraqi dinars in Iraq. I did a video where I showed you that the amount of Iraqi dinar in circulation is 144 trillion, which is a very large amount. It was one thing when in 2019 we were talking about the revaluation, and even then they were around 54, 55 trillion Iraqi dinars in circulation. And I was thinking, how the heck are they going to do this? If you think about the rate, there's a lot of things I was explaining to people. We know that there was a time frame in which Iraq was taking a huge bulk of the money generated by oil sales, and the article said something in the neighborhood of $1 billion to $1.5 billion were spent buying the Iraqi dinar off the open market, and it was being destroyed. Again, all hearsay. If we're going based on those rumors, that means 70% of the Iraqi dinars that were in circulation were now out of circulation and destroyed. That would be awesome. That means even with the 144 trillion that is being reported as in circulation, that does not actually mean that all 144 trillion are in circulation. If you start seeing that the Iraqi government is indeed doing whatever it takes to reduce the amount of Iraqi dinars in circulation, then you know that the rumor is true, that they are heading in a direction in which they want a gold-backed currency. Man, I did say they should do the same thing as Russia and consider going into the gold standard. Now that is a big talk right now. I just want to make myself perfectly clear. Right now, it's just rumors. But it's almost hard not to believe it given the amount of gold that they have been buying. But they're not the only ones. Central banks around the world have been gobbling up gold, and I mean tons of it. As they continue to smash the price of gold and silver down, trying to do what they can to control a lot of other things I don't want to get into to force us into this great reset. So just keep your fingers crossed. There seems to be some reluctance, by the way, from Iraq as far as a central bank digital currency is concerned. So there is one group of people who sound like they are moving forward with the Great Reset, and then you have another group of people who seem to be resistant of it. Also, this nifty little article I thought was a little interesting. It says Biden, I will not ask the Gulf states to increase oil production. This guy, he truly is just an idiot. He stopped the fracking, stopped the coal mines, he stopped the Alaskan pipelines. And if he wanted, and we went from being the world's #1 exporter of energy to now the world's #1 importer of energy. This is just a move from that political party to try to do what they can to weaken the United States. Whether you want to believe it or not, it doesn't make a difference. But the truth is, you can tell by his actions, that's exactly what's going on. So he's not going to ask them to increase. Here's the other thing that they're not serious. If Biden was serious about everything that's going on, this whole thing taking a posture against Russia, think about this. So Biden is putting all kinds of sanctions or pressure on Russia. You have China and India buying the oil from Russia. Then they turn around and sell it to the United States. And the United States is aware of this. What the hell are the sanctions for? And how stupid do they think everybody is? Why would you tell the rest of the world, hey, look, we're so tough on sanctions, but then turn around and buy the Russian oil? It doesn't make any sense. And you can see in this other article here, which is interesting, again, it says Biden, all Gulf countries should increase oil production. But then the other article says that he will not ask the Gulf countries to increase production, which sounds about right for Biden. I came across this article from a couple days ago here, and you want to know why gold and silver is being smashed down. You can see right here, it says gold rises with the decline of the dollar. So the dollar continues to decline. So one of the mechanisms that they use to help keep it afloat is manipulation of the gold and silver market. So if you're an investor in the gold and silver, don't fall for it. Just continue to stack. Consider this as gold and silver being on sale and stack as much of it as possible. So continue to do so. So when I said there's a group of people in Iraq who are going along with this whole Great Reset agenda, you can tell by the words that they use. It says World Bank. Iraq has an opportunity to diversify its economy and address the crisis of its human capital. Human capital. That's why they call themselves a stakeholder capitalism. They are the stakeholders, and you, by the way, are the human capital, the slaves. But these are the wordings used by the World Economic Forum. Opportunity to diversify, crisis of its human capital. You like how they call that? You're not even a human being, you're human capital. You're an investment. You're the slave workers. You're the ones that go out and do all the work for these people. It's crazy, man. But if you go through here and you read a wording, they absolutely positively are pushing that whole Great Reset agenda and are becoming a lot more aggressive about it. There is a 5 or 6 prong attack that looks like it's happening all at once, but I won't get too much into this. If indeed the rumors are true and Iraq is trying to go into the gold standard and they start supporting their currency with gold and the sale of oil going on, with the money that they make from the sale of oils and the swapping of the currency for gold, they have one hell of an opportunity to build up their foreign reserves as well as their gold holdings. Until all countries are aboard, those countries who are working out deals, and hey, there's no reason for Iraq not to do the same thing, or the members of OPEC, and that is start offering people an opportunity to grab oil at a discount, as long as what they do is they use the local currency, and the local currency is then backed by gold. That would make all countries that participate in this movement some of the wealthiest and most secure countries out there. Their currencies would be very strong, like we see in Russia. Anyways, that is the latest when it comes to Iraq. We are hearing a ton of rumors, and that's not just from one source. I keep saying rumors because I want you to understand this is not set in gold. You like how I did that? These are just rumors. There is a lot of talk that Iraq is going into the gold standard. But first things first, they need to reduce the amount of Iraqi dinar currency in circulation, which is good for us. The last thing you want to hear is that there's too much Iraqi dinar out there. They're going to go ahead and replace it with the new currency. You know what I mean? You don't want to hear that kind of crap. Let them destroy the amount of currency that's in circulation. The lower that number becomes, the more valuable their currency becomes. Think supply and demand. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you think. That's it for now. I do appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll catch you later. I'm out.